everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alicia. I post new videos every Thursday on all different kinds of DIY projects. So this week in this video, I did a black flame candle company, and this isn't different than anybody else has done. It was so but I did super simple with this. This cup was finished in a day. So if you're interested to see how I completed this cup in one day, stick around and I'm going to show you how. All right, so just to show you real quick, this is Creative Fabrica's website, and I did a search for Black Flame Candle Company and came up, there's a bunch of them, and so this was the label that I chose. This one right here, I downloaded it. I have a membership with them, so it didn't cost me anything. I think it's a couple of dollars, but you obviously can pick whatever one you want, whatever label you want. And so I went and I downloaded it onto my Cricut design space. And the dimensions are here. I had said earlier I didn't know the dimensions. So the dimensions I did were 3.6. I probably should have went to 4. And the height's 4.7. So if you want to know what the dimensions were for the 20-ounce cup that I used, that is it. All right, so then I printed it out on the printable vinyl. I will link down below which printable vinyl I use and cut it out, and there you have it. All right, so I'm working with a 20-ounce Skinny Straight Sublimation Glow in the Dark tumbler, and what I am doing is I had sublimated this Phillies symbol on the cup, and I hated it. I just didn't like it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm covering it up with the Black Flame Candle Company label. And so I got this SVG off of Creative Fabrica, and I printed it up on printable vinyl. I had to hand cut it out because my Cricut doesn't cooperate with that. And now the next step is the drips. And right there you can see that my label does not completely cover the Philly symbol. You can see a little bit of that red. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come all the way around the cup with these drips. And so I'm not doing anything new. A lot of you have seen this. You can create candle looking drips from using a hot glue gun, and I have the black hot glue sticks. So I don't need to color my drips at all. I absolutely love these. I bought these last year off of Amazon, and I've created a lot of drips using this, and I really like it because it's so controllable. I feel like using epoxy, sometimes it's just not controllable, and there's a lot of waiting and mixing in powders to make it thicker and just trying to get that right drip, and then if it drips too much you're flipping it upside down. So this is the easiest thing. Besides, I've done drips using UV resin, which works really well, as also because you can start to drip and then just freeze it, flash freeze it with a light, a little flashlight, a little UV flashlight. All right, so I have my heat gun, and I called it a heat gun. No, I have my hot glue gun set on the high temperature, so it makes the glue really gooey and drippy, because on the low one it wouldn't be as drippy as on the high temperature. So make sure that your glue gun has a low and a high temperature, because the high temperature is going to work better to make it nice and soft and drippy. All right, so you can see here I'm coming down, and then I'm going to take a random drip and just cover the red. See right there? That's how I'm going to fix that problem, because I didn't print my label big enough. I thought it was big enough, but I didn't. And so you can print your label as big or as small as you want, and I think my dimensions were 4 inches wide, or maybe 3.5, and maybe I needed to go 4. I'm not really sure. I can put it down in the description box below if you want to know exactly the size of the label. And then I'm just going to go around and finish the strips. The only thing that I don't like about using a glue gun is those strings. The strings are kind of a pain in the butt. So after after your glue dries and sets, you want to go back in with your finger and just take away all those strips. But I'm putting random drips around the cup. I like this. I've seen this on real candles where, it just drips over the edge, and, it misses and it kind of gets halfway down the cup. There's a break. So I wanted to try to be somewhat realistic. But once the drips are the way you want them, that's it. You're done with all the drips, and then it's time for epoxy, and then the cup is done. So here I am just taking off some of these strings, rubbing them out, like rubbing them around with my finger and just getting them off there because you don't want them under epoxy. Once they're there, they're there. And then I'm going to put 1 coat of epoxy on this. I'm going to put like 25 mLs. I'm going to give it a nice thick coat. And I'm going to go over top of it. Oh, and here, so I didn't get to the very tippy top of the cup with some of the drips. And I didn't want to because I didn't want it to be too thick up there. So a really good cheat, because you can see the white at the top, is just take a black Sharpie marker and just color that in. And you're never going to know this difference. It's going to blend in so nice. So there's nothing more to say about that. Just use your black Sharpie. And, you know, this is really fun. You could, if you had different color hot glues, to make like a rainbow drip cup, which would be fun. So, and the glitter ones too. All right, so here I am putting on my 25 mLs of epoxy. And I start by putting the epoxy on the bottom. And I make sure the label gets good and covered. I don't go up towards the hot glue yet, because I want to get it on the bottom. You don't want to saturate the hot glue with epoxy because it will pull up around your drips. So you don't want that to happen. You don't want it to because pulling too creates bubbles. And so you want to make sure that it's completely coated, but it's nice and thin. So I do spend a little bit of time making sure that it's not too thick around the drips, but making sure that it does come up completely to the drips. So it's just a little bit of a learning curve when you're working with epoxy and drips, and things that you have to go around are basically 3D. So that is it, guys. That is it for this video. There is nothing more to say other than make sure to pop your bubbles with a torch and enjoy your cup once you're done with it. So if you like this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, share, comment. I love to hear your feedback. All those things help my channel to grow, and I will see you all in the next video. Oh, don't forget to check out my Facebook group, It's a Craft Thing, as well as my Instagram, It's a Craft Thing. I post things that I don't do tutorials on there because I do lots and lots of stuff, and I just don't have time to do tutorials on every single thing. But also check out GMI Superstars group. They are the glitter company that I get all my glitter from, and they have great giveaways every Sunday. All right, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.